last year at Florida State. How much did the coaching staff learn about Deshaun? It was his first real meaningful snaps.
Well, obviously we watched that game today, and Deshaun made a lot of nice plays and good decisions. So I think it's good, for him to have that experience against Florida State. We made a lot of plays in that game. Obviously, didn't make enough of them to win the game, but I think he'll have, like all of our guys. When we watch the video, we're running. They're doing the same things on defense as they did last year. We're doing a lot of the same things on offense. So we're very familiar with them. I think the big message for our guys, if you look at our offense, and especially maybe some of the numbers that our guys in the last 4 or 5 years have put up at Clemson, we've accomplished a lot of records and all those type of things. And so our message to our offense, going back to January is, let's accomplish some things that maybe the other offenses haven't accomplished, and that's winning some of these championships and having being more consistent throughout the year. And so that's really been the focus. But we've got obviously a lot of confidence in Deshaun, and I think he'll be fun.
Jeff, is that message to stay on point? Do you have to remind the guys a little bit more, because this obviously is a big week? Tuesday the rankings come out, and it's Florida State, and it could determine a big part of where you guys head.
Yeah, well, I'll have a lot of those notes written down, but I think once Coach Swinney gets done with them during the team meeting, I can cross off about half of the notes that I have on that, because he'll do a really good job of doing that. But that's and Coach Swinney, he told them at the beginning of the year, as we continue to climb, there's going to be more exposure and more noise and more distractions, but we just got to stay focused and stay committed to that. And I just, more than anything, obviously I like where we are athletically at a lot of the positions and the skills and talents and all that, but we've had a lot of that here the last 4 or 5 years. There's just something special about the chemistry, the mental makeup of the guys in that room that really they've done so far up to this point. They've done a great job of staying focused on that week, and that'll be the big message this week. But yeah, I absolutely, with the first polls and all that coming out Tuesday, there'll be a little bit more buzz, but I think we just got to stay committed to what we've been talking about all year long.
Would you be surprised if you were ranked #1 in that first group?
To be honest, with a newborn at home, all I've been doing outside of what I've been doing here at Clemson is when I go home, I really haven't watched a lot of TV, and so it's just one of those years. It's gone by really fast, and really haven't had a lot of time to think about a lot of those things, and that's probably a good thing, because we've been so busy. And I think, to be honest, it's been good for our offense that each week, last week going into that game, North Carolina State was the #3 defense in the country, and it just seems like every week that we had a big challenge in front of us that took all of our attention. And so I have no idea how it'll all match up. I think the confidence that we have is that we control our own destiny, and if we go out and execute in the remaining games, that we feel very confident that we'll be in the top 4. And outside of that, the rest of it is just, fun stuff to talk about and write articles about, and kind of, if and what happens and all that kind of stuff. But for us, this is a time for us just to keep our head down and keep working, and not really, look up at the big picture quite yet. It's still too early.
If it does happen, though, Jeff, tomorrow night, having a 1 next to the name Clemson, I know it's all about the rest of the year, but would there not be a sort of satisfaction for this program and its history to reach that?
Yeah, I think it'll be something to go, man, hey, that's pretty cool. Look at where we are right now. Now, we're not going to be anywhere close if we don't go take care of business Saturday. So, it's not a deal where we're saying, hey, don't watch TV on Tuesday and don't look at the internet all week. It's one of those things that, hey, okay, all right, that's pretty neat. That's where we are now. Now let's go to work. And, I think that comes with maturity. And I think the fact that we've been, we haven't been up maybe to #1 if we get there, but we've been undefeated twice, I believe, in the last 5 years, kind of this time of year. And so I think as coaches and as players, it's a little bit different when you've kind of been through that. And and Coach Swinney's done a good job of reminding our players, I believe 2011 started off 8-0 and then maybe won 2 of the last 6 or something like that. Is that right?
Yep.
And so, it's neat to see where we are, but ultimately the goals and everything that we have, there's a lot left. And Coach Sweeney's done a good job of really breaking down our goals, and our next goal is to win the division, and get a great opportunity to clinch the division, against the team that really has controlled the division the last 4 or 5 years. And so that's really where all of our focus is. But our guys wouldn't be human if they didn't look at that and say, hey, that's pretty neat, that's where we are. And but I don't think we can look at it and get distracted, and that's not going to help us in our execution on Saturday. So that's the big thing.